Each week, we break down a hot topic in the gaming industry. This week, we're going to talk about predictions for the next Nintendo Switch consoles. So, a report came out saying that Nintendo is indeed working on not one, but two new Switch consoles that are going to be an upgrade and possibly a downgrade for the Switch, which will be announced at E3 this year. So the one console they're working on is to kind of fill the void of the fact that the 3DS is basically killed and won't be around anymore.
I like how they're like, we're still going to support the 3DS, and no one cares about it now. So.
Yep. So they are going to be releasing a cheaper, more affordable version of the Nintendo Switch. And it hasn't been announced whether it's going to be smaller per se, but what they did say is that it's going to strip out some features. Namely, it might remove the haptic vibration engine and things of that nature to help reduce costs so that they can sell a cheaper version of it. In addition, the other console that they're working on is a more higher end version. And what that entails, we're not quite sure, but they have said that it won't be as powerful as a PlayStation or Xbox One still, but it will be more powerful than what they have now. So what we want to talk about in this discussion is basically what we think they're going to do, which I think it's going to be pretty obvious, and then what we think they should do that they haven't done or announced yet. So let's start with the big kahuna, like the new bigger one, the one that's probably more geared for us as casual plus gamers, because I'm going to start calling myself a casual plus gamer because I'm a little bit more than a casual gamer.
Okay. All right.
So that's my new phrase for myself.
New tagline too. The Casual Plus podcast.
Yes, exactly.
For the Casual Plus player.
Casual plus gamer. I don't know. Yeah, so I think that definitely, namely, they need to get rid of that freaking edge on that screen. Just make it edge to edge. Take it to the edge. Take it to the max.
Switch it up a little bit, guys.
I want bigger screen, same size form factor. Do it. All right. Number 2, I want these Switch dock controllers to like fit better into the sides because I feel like it gets a little flimsy after a while, and I feel like I'm gonna break it in half if I like hold on it too tight, and that bothers me. Number 3, the kickstand breaks. Mine broke. Okay, why did you break it? Give me it back for free. Make the kickstand better. Then I want Bluetooth. I want to hear my earpods through this device, right? I want that shit. Give me that shit.
Oh, yeah.
And then I want that speaker to sound better. Because that speaker is a piece of shit.
It's not bad, man.
It's a piece of shit. It's just not loud enough. It needs to be louder.
It could be louder.
But that's the thing that bothers me. I mean, I guess most people are going to listen to it just by like headphones and stuff.
Well, okay, I'm kind of deaf already because of my job and all the loud sounds I hear. Yeah. And I think it's actually pretty loud sometimes. I guess it depends what kind of game you're playing and like what their standard levels are set to. But like when I'm playing, what's it called? Banner Saga. It's actually pretty loud.
I've never had it be loud enough.
Okay.
Ever.
All right.
Ever.
Sorry.
Stop smoking what you're smoking.
No, I'm stopping right now.
Stop jabling jables. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I personally, now granted, I usually do it when I'm on the toilet and I have like the little vent hood thing on. So like it's a little bit muffled, but it's still, I feel like it could turn up a couple notches just for the sake. Like if you're in a room with like a lot of people and you want to have the sound coming off just a portable device, it would be cool to have a little bit more sound projecting off that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. So, but that's like all small stuff. That's what I want. What do you want from this console?
I mean, I agree. I agree with everything you said.
And then 4K. But I don't know if we're going to get that. Probably not. Or no, 1080p on the screen itself.
Yes. If we could have 1080p on the screen, I'd be happy. More memory inside. And yeah, definitely Bluetooth as well. Like if we had that, I think we'd be doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Form factor, like I think originally maybe I said that the screen was a little bigger, but in all honesty, I think just a edge to edge would be perfect. Like it's a perfect size console.
Right.
It just sucks because some games where you have a small character, it's just hard to see them. Like Oxenfree, hate playing that game handheld. I hate it. And then longer battery life would be nice too. But I don't know how much more they could really do with battery, or how it could be more girthy if you added a bigger battery in there. Which I guess overall the battery actually lasts pretty good, especially if you just have it on standby and not really playing it.
Yeah.
But once you get playing the Switch, if you don't have one, like it starts to drain it pretty quick.
Yeah.
I would say maybe 2 hours of playtime total if
They claim 3, but yeah, I've probably gone 2.5, I think, and that's
Yeah.
about when it like craps out.
Yeah.
Plane ride.
Okay, well, for me, it's like 2 hours because at the 2 hour mark, I'm like, I need to charge this because I don't want it to die on me when I'm in the midst of like a battle or something.
Right.
And then if I hope the last thing, which I think you would agree with, is that we can just buy the XL. I'm gonna call it the XL because I feel like that's probably a good name for it. If you can just buy the XL to place in your dock, and you don't have to buy the whole thing over again.
Oh yeah, no, they better
Some kind of upgrade.
if
system.
if they sell that freaking dock with it, I'm gonna be so pissed. I'm gonna slap you. I'm gonna slap you.
I mean, we can put it to good use because we have events and stuff. But at the same
that's
time,
true. I would like to have another dock, but yeah, I don't
want to have to buy
because I
another
don't know
one.
what you could do differently. I don't think there's anything to do with the dock per se. I mean,
No.
yeah, there's some like little tiny things you could do maybe, but really not. I mean, it's pretty solid. All it
Right,
does is a
right.
connector. But yeah, no, I definitely do not want to have to get another dock.
Ooh, sturdier chassis because I dropped that face down, and somehow the back plate, which has screws and stuff on it,
Broke off.
broke to the point where there's only one screw holding the back chassis on. Because I actually went in there, unscrewed everything, and found out that the little notches that screw in from the outside have all been broken off. I'm like, I don't understand.
That's
how it's
weird.
Possible.
That's super
So
weird.
maybe even having like a metal chassis in the back would be nice. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
not the best made hardware, but for what it does and what it is and what it provides, I really enjoy it. So I
Yeah.
really can't complain.
I mean, I think like software wise, it doesn't need to do a lot in that regard. I mean, if we go up to 1080p on the screen on the handheld part of it, and then just like in memory, I don't think there's a problem with loading times really in any of the games.
No, that's pretty quick.
If it stays that way, like battery life, I mean, that's a low on the totem pole for me personally. But yeah, I mean, if we get some more battery, that'd be cool. Yeah, I'll be curious to see if they change the form factor in any way to account for like the almost carpal tunnel feeling you get after long times of play.
Right.
But I don't know what else you could do to it to make it to where the controller is detached and become, handheld. Because you're going to want to keep the same controllers because people have already bought a bunch of controllers. Like you'd hate for them to have to switch those controllers out.
Seems like a bad idea to make like different style anything and just keep the form factor with better things in a bigger screen on top of the body because I see why companies want to kind of change things up because it allows like how like Apple changed from I forgot what they used to use before to charge what do you call it
long pin port to the single
to now the lightning cable. And so I see things like that changing, but I just don't see the form factor changing because there's so much already involved in what this does and the size it has.
There's so many accessories and stuff that were built for this specific chassis. What do you think about the cheaper version? Because they're going to have that cheaper version they're going to bring out that's supposed to be lower cost. And they're doing away with things, but I wonder if they're going to change the form factor size or they're going to keep it the scale it is. I think they would have to. Because again, you don't want people to go out there and buy a bunch of... If they're going to upgrade this, which I feel like a lot of people would...
So like
that's weird.
I know.
That could be interesting though.
I'll show it
Honestly,
on
you don't have to detach it. It's just like a... But then what does that do for you?
Hopefully people on
Because you
camera
don't
can see this.
detach the... you're not detaching anything. So, I mean, I guess it would be
So they're
good because
thinking
you'd
that
have that and you can dock it
there's no
still.
dock.
Oh, but there should be a dock though.
That's what they're saying. Like the mini or the the smaller version,
It's
cheaper
just a
version.
3DS
It's
basically.
just going to be just like a screen and controllers, and you can't do anything with it. So it doesn't have the functionality that you would with a normal Switch, and that's why it's going to be cheaper. I was like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. I get that. Unless, like, I don't know.
Better be
don't know
smart
how
for
they
them to
would-
make it to where you don't have the detachable controllers and it's a smaller form factor, but it still sticks in a USB and can dock on there. You just can't take the controllers off. So at that point, you have to have a separate controller in order to operate on the screen. But then that would be kind of weird because you
I don't
want it
think
to
you'd
be
have
the
that.
same.
I don't think it'd be able to do that.
Yeah.
I think
it
there's
could.
technology in there that's what funnels into the cost. So if it's cheaper and you only play on this.
Yeah.
I mean, some people want that. Some people.
I mean,
just
all
wanna play on the
all
screen.
the dock does is it's just it's an adapter. That's all it is.
Wow.
It's not doing anything but taking that signal. It's just like plugging a USB cable to the TV. It's just projecting that image onto the TV. So literally, the dock is operating exclusively as a
Well, it might be
converter.
too small for the dock.
yeah.
If they
Well,
make
I
it
mean, yeah,
smaller.
they might need to like make a separate dock or something. But yeah, I did a lot of reading on that because I was trying to figure out if it was anything different. All it's doing is just. It's just like if you plug an HDMI into your TV to like project your image on there from your laptop, that's exactly what it's doing. So it's just image projection onto the
It'll just be
screen.
like that.
Oh, that's weird.
Just by his side. It's just a screen.
That's weird. I don't get it.
I think that'd be funny. It's
Yeah.
just a screen you put on the 2 Joy-Cons.
I
Switch
think-
Mini.
I think the form factor should stay the same. Or if they make it smaller, make it to where I don't know, it needs to be able to dock. That's not bad.
It's the same thing. It's just
Yeah.
one
long as it
device
docks.
opposed to
Yeah.
multiple devices. But
That's-
maybe, I don't know. They're going to do something within the system that makes it cheaper. You
Well,
know
they
what I
said
mean?
they were going to get rid of controller vibration so that there's none of the
Mm.
haptic engine in there anymore.
That's going to be cheaper.
They might reduce the quality of it, That could be a
I don't see
possibility.
them going lower than 720
Yeah.
or 780p or 720p. Yeah,
720.
What are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what else they do. Reduce them. I mean, make it to where there's no memory in it. Like you have to buy an extra one,
Yeah,
but
actually buy a memory card.
or maybe at this point, like memory cards will be cheaper that they can leave it the 30 gigs or whatever it is now. Make the standard Switch have like 100 gigs, and then make the higher quality one have like 250 or something like that.
You think they'll keep the card port for like games and stuff, or they
yeah.
you download it directly?
That's a good question.
Right?
Yeah,
I can see them
Could be
doing.
a
I can see them
download
doing
only.
both. You know what I
it
mean?
could be like if you get the cheaper version, you're required to get Switch Online. You have to download
You have
stuff.
to download it.
That'd be interesting. I think they'll still leave the card where you can put the cartridge in there for now. But I mean, they very well could move towards. I mean, I'd be curious to see the numbers. I would bet you that people that own a Switch, 80% of the games that they purchase are likely purchased digitally.
Right.
I bet it's very uncommon because this is the first console that I've ever owned that has physical devices available that I don't even think about purchasing physical.
Exactly.
Like I don't want to have those freaking cartridges in my bag, which is weird because like I want to have disc at home that I can swap out, but I could care less about the cartridge. Like every game I purchase on the Switch past,
you're gonna lose the cartridge possibly.
Yeah,
So why even deal with that?
Let's talk about real quick. I'm curious because this is going to come out in E3. They're going to announce these 2 models. They're going to have something else to have to go with this to showcase, particularly a reason to purchase the higher end console other than it's going to be better quality. I feel like they're going to have some kind of game associated with it that's going to be like, you need to get this version of the Switch because this game will look better on it. Just like Xbox One, when they announced Xbox One Enhanced, they were like, this is Xbox One X Enhanced. So therefore you should buy these games for that. I'm curious to know, because like Switch just brought out Yoshi's Crafted World. Pokemon is coming out this year, but Pokemon isn't a game that I'd be like, oh yeah, this needs like the badass bomb graphics, right? Like I'm trying to think of what game, maybe Doom Eternal, but that's a third party. I'm trying to think what Nintendo franchise could come out that could be like, okay, now this is a game that's best played on the Nintendo Switch Plus.
Star Fox.
Shit.
That would be
shit. Mind blown. That would be it.
That would be awesome.
Because when did Star Fox Zero come out? Like
I have no idea.
not
games right now.
has it been more 2016? 3 years, so it is due for a new game. And
We
it
haven't heard
didn't
anything yet.
fare very well.
And can you imagine if they released it on the game store that day? Well,
That'd be sick.
they wouldn't do that. They have to have a release date for the new Switches along with being released that day. I think that's the only way they can sell it.
That is totally that. Yes, that would be
You
perfect.
heard it here first.
Star Fox could definitely be a category.
Or
Star Fox and Pokemon.
Star Fox Remastered.
I'd rather get a new Star Fox.
Okay. I mean, I would too, but I mean, I would still buy a Star Fox
Right.
Remastered. Just saying. I'm just saying.
Well, with that, I feel pretty confident that what we said is going to come out on the Switch is probably going to come out on the Switch, the bigger version. But I am curious to see if they change the form factor. I'm pretty sure they're not going to, because if they did, that would be a major
If they
mess
did,
up for them.
You'd have to buy new everything, I think.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
different controller. I mean, you keep the Pro Controller for sure, but I don't know. I mean, if you sold your Nintendo Switch to GameStop with everything else with it, I mean, that might be okay.
Yeah.
The only thing that would suck is that, well, mine's broken on the back, so I can't sell mine.
Well, I'm curious too. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And I got my broken kickstand, which sucks.
That's true.
But I'm curious to know if they would make it. I guess they want to make it cheaper because I don't know how they're going to do that because, like, in a way, they're going to have to sell it as a bundle. They probably would sell it with the dock.
Yeah.
Just because that's just a natural progression. I mean, I don't think they'd make two separate SKUs for like one for with a dock and one without a dock. They're just going to make it, yeah, like you can't buy you can buy the dock separately, but
I don't know how
they'd
they do
rather
it.
just make it to where it's you have a single SKU and that's the dock plus the console.
Right.
And that's
I don't
it.
know how they would do it. We'll go up to GameStop and let y'all know next time.
I know, right?
How they're going to do that. How they do it
Crazy.
in general.
Anyway, so let us know what you think, what your wishes would be for the Nintendo Switch. Like if there's something about the Plus version, I'm going to call it Nintendo Switch Plus just because. But if there's something about it that you think like, oh man, this feature needs to be there, let us know in the comments below or shoot us an email, hello@thegamer.net, what you want for the cheaper version. Like, do you want it to be... Would you be okay with it not docking to a system? Would you be okay with it having attached controllers or controls to it, where it's basically like a Nintendo Switch Mini 3DS mashup? Like, let us know. We'd like to hear about it. Also, if you have any questions or want to contribute to next week's segment, visit theinnergamer.net and drop us a line.